Read on all of this. You might not think the House has any say on this, but it does have influence and some sentiment at the grassroots level how this is all going down. Michigan Democratic Congressman Dan Kildee joins us right now. Congressman, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you in the flesh.
Yeah.
What is your sense about where this is going? Mitch McConnell was saying, as you might have heard, no matter what we do, we Republicans, and get this investigation going, get the FBI on it, they'll move the goalposts, they'll move the deadlines, they'll start complaining about something. You say?
Well, I think there are a lot of senators who have made their minds up, and we ought not focus on them. There are a handful of senators who actually could benefit from the information that this investigation might reveal. So rather than focusing only on how quickly the process moves or whether those who have already made up their minds can either criticize the process or confirm it, we ought to leave open the possibility that some information will be revealed that will either confirm or somehow negate the claims that have been made. And there are a handful of senators who I think actually want that information. So, I mean, that may seem a little Pollyanna, but when I took Jeff Flake's comments at face value, that he wanted to know more and he felt like he needed to know more, let's leave open the possibility that the FBI, which clearly can get an extensive investigation done in the 7-day time period.
So you would be probably concerned if it were wrapped up tomorrow?
Well, if they interviewed 24 people and were able to synthesize that information, the date isn't so important. This is a lifetime appointment. We ought to get it right.
But the Friday deadline to get it done, what Mitch McConnell is saying, Congressman, and this is maybe where we get into what's the mood of the House and the mood in the Senate. It's going to be a big election year issue. It's going to be a big issue in 5 weeks. Do you think it will be? When you talk to your constituents, do they say this is a big deal to me, how this thing goes?
I think there are some people out there that feel that if this confirmation were rammed through and there were unanswered questions, they might hold some senators responsible for that. But I think generally speaking, in something like this, a lifetime appointment, as hard as it might seem it is to do this, we just need to set aside the electoral impact and just get it done.
Well, it's interesting. There were two different polls out. You know, Republicans, by and large, think the Republicans are doing a good job with this. Democrats, by and large, think Democrats are doing a good job, trying to fight this. Is it government the way you like to see it function?
No, I'm really tired of this.
So when some of your colleagues, had talked about, we're not done with this even if he makes it to the court. We'll look at ways of getting him off the court. Is that productive?
Well, it depends on what the information reveals. Right. I'm not sure how productive it is, but we have an obligation to follow the facts, and I think we ought to do that. But the fact that it seems as though on every question, the parties retreat to their polls and hold on to those positions rather than just allow the process to move forward, take the information, make a judgment. This is a lifetime appointment. We ought to do it right. We ought to get it done.
Sir, while I've got you here, you represent a big industrial state, important state, Michigan. The president getting the Canadians on this accord, this Mexican-Canadian-U.S. accord, at just the 11th hour. And I'm wondering, he has to get congressional support for this, which would presumably happen after the midterms, so we could have a different makeup in the House. Right. We could have a different makeup in the Senate. And I'm told that this is very worker-friendly, actually union-friendly, so the president might have an easier time with you guys, Democrats, than he would Republicans. Is that true? It's
possible. I mean, the change with the so-called rules of origin could actually be helpful.
In other words, how much is North American content?
Right. It goes to 75%, which could be a big step in the right direction. For me, the dairy provisions supporting some of our producers, milk producers especially, could be important. The piece that we need to know more about is what those labor provisions actually look like and what the enforcement mechanism is. That's one piece. And secondly, our consideration of this new agreement, which I can't come up with the name of it yet.
Right.
It's not
it has like
NAFTA.
A military thing to it, but it is the USMCA, the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. It's a mouthful.
Our consideration will be in part triggered by Mexican government action, and I need to know what that's going to look like. The most important variable in any of these agreements is what the worker protections and the worker rights and wages are, so that our workers don't have to compete against people making $1 an hour. If that comes together the way it possibly could, I make no judgment yet, then I think we could see this thing move forward. If not, it won't.
Okay, Congressman, thank you. They've all got to stick to whatever promises they're making, and you got to find out what those promises are.
That's right.
Congressman, thank you very, very much.